What is up, everybody? Nick Fiore, Adam, Furious Nation YouTube channel, right here on YouTube, right here on YouTube.com. It is Tuesday, December 22nd, 2020, 3 days before Christmas. Hope you guys have some good Christmas plans this week. I know this is 2 days afterwards, and I was gonna do this yesterday, but had stuff going on, like getting ready like for Christmas this Friday and all the other good stuff, making cookies and wrapping Christmas gifts, etc., etc. But here we are. This is the TLC 2020 review from last Sunday night, actually 2 nights ago. WWE TLC 2020 on the WWE Network, the last WWE pay-per-view of 2020. And now I meant to do, now before we get started talking about TLC and giving our thoughts and opinions on the show, before that, I do have to say this right now, guys. I was going to do a TLC preview and predictions video over the weekend, but because there is no interest, but I didn't have any interest going into it outside of one match. But that leads into the next thing we're going to talk about. But I just thought I'd say that. Also, two other things. Number one, this week, most likely today or tomorrow, probably, one of the days, today or tomorrow, I'm going to be starting this week the video gaming right here on the channel. So it's going to be, listen to this, WWE Smackdown vs. Raw 2007 on the PlayStation 2 season mode. I put up a voting of who you want me to play as in season mode in Smackdown vs. Raw 07 last week. You guys voted Kurt Angle. So today or tomorrow, folks, you're going to get it right here on the channel. PlayStation 2 season mode in Smackdown vs. Raw 2007. Kurt Angle. So look out for that today or tomorrow. That should be real good. So look out for that. Also, this Monday, expect here on the channel. It's going to be right here on the Furious Nation YouTube channel this Monday before Raw, before the last Raw of this year of 2020. Right here on the channel, it's going to be the WWE year-end 2020 show video this Monday before Raw this Monday night. It's going to be here on the channel. It's going to be me. It's going to be Adam, and it's going to be DJ Storms of the with it. And it's gonna be DJ Storms as well, and DJ Storms, brother. Hope you're watching, and a good shout out to you. And wanted to say what's up, bro, and how you doing. And hope you're watching. So, and DJ Storms, and DJ Storms, if you have not watched it before, I'd highly recommend go subscribe. I would highly recommend subscribing to his channel and all. But it's gonna be me, Adam, and DJ Storms right here on the channel this Monday, going over the WWE. Go ahead.
We're going to discuss the year-end awards, and we'll also discuss WWE creatively from January till we sit here right now in December.
Exactly. We're going to go over Male of the Year, Female of the Year, Breakout Star of the Year, Tag Team Faction of the Year, Tag Team of the Year, Faction of the Year, Failure of the Year, Match of the Year, etc., etc. About over 10 categories, 10 to 15 categories, and you're not going to want to miss it. So mark it on your calendar.
You mean 15 categories. And
yes.
When we mention all of them, we're going to discuss WWE from January all the way till December. Month by month.
Yes, we'll be discussing main roster, Raw and SmackDown, and NXT, and possibly NXT UK, but that's going to be this Monday, so make sure you mark it on your calendars, folks. Make sure you have it set right on your calendars because you're not going to want to miss it. It is going to be a must-watch show, so that's going to be great. So look out for that, and that's something that that is something that you're not going to want to miss because it's going to be real good. Believe me on that. So that's this Monday. And it's going to be this Monday before the last Raw of this year. Before we go on shortly into 2021, which will be here before you even know it. So that is that. And now that those announcements are out of the way, we're 5 minutes into this video. Let's get started talking about Tables, Ladders, and Chairs 2020. Your thoughts on the show as a whole?
My thoughts on the show as a whole. I'll be really honest. I wasn't into this show because they did absolutely nothing to for it outside of one match. But I gotta say, they did the best they could. That this was a decent show tonight. Last Sunday.
I would agree. And we had 6 matches on the show. And it got me thinking just shortly ago, you know, if this is going to be WWE's current motto for pay-per-views having no more than 6 matches on the card for each pay-per-view, then, you know, and it got me thinking, 6 matches on pay-per-view cards as of late, you know what? I don't mind it.
Yeah, we don't mind this.
Compared to like 7, 8, 9, 10 matches on a pay-per-view card.
Yeah.
Compared to that, 6 matches on the card, and usually these pay-per-views for main roster end like from 7 to 11. This ended at like 10 o'clock an hour early. Is this a sign of things to come where maybe they're thinking, hey, maybe pay-per-views are too long, maybe we should shorten them? And if this is the case, I don't have a problem with this at all. If like you don't need a whole like 7 or 8, maybe overkill. NXT does like what, 5, 6 matches, no more than that.
Yeah, at takeovers, yeah.
Oh, but 7 to 8, man, it still works, man. Maybe back then, but not now, unless it calls for it, unless it makes sense.
Yeah.
But TLC last Sunday, I would have to agree with you, Adam. Going into this, I didn't have any interest, and the build was not good. But in the end, it was a decent show. You had 6 matches. 3 of them were good out of the 6, but we had some good wrestling, and we had 2 TLC matches. Both were good, but I thought one was better than the other, in my opinion, my personal opinion. We had, going into this, like, only one good match to look forward to going into it. That was Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship in a TLC match. Also on the card, you have Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles for the WWE title in a TLC match as well. But, I mean, on paper, both good matches, but one out of the 2 has a story. The other doesn't. Like, Roman and Owens, they at least had a story, and it got you invested. It definitely got you invested. Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens going into TLC last two nights ago. AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, a good match, absolutely. But, and on paper, yes. Like on paper, is it a good match? Yes. But there's no story. You can have a good match, but you also got to have a good story. Because if you don't have a good story, who's going to care? That's a problem.
Yeah.
That's a big issue. But TLC, in all honesty, guys, 2 nights ago, I expected this to be a bad show 2 nights ago. But I got to be honest with you, and I have to give WWE credit. And I have to be fair with you guys, or else I wouldn't be doing my job right. TLC was a good show. It was a decent show 2 nights ago. I expected it to be garbage, but I'm not afraid to admit when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And TLC was a decent show last Sunday. At the end of the day, and like for the last pay-per-view for WWE of 2020, this was a decent show. Definitely a decent show. I'm Nick Fiore. Once again, this is Adam. In case, for those of you who are new to the channel, just watching this for the first time, I'm Nick Fiore, and this is Adam. And before we get started with the TLC review, I want you to hit this like button first of all, and I want you to hit the subscribe button as well as hitting that bell for all notifications. So then that way, you guys know whenever I upload right here onto YouTube from the channel right here onto YouTube. And I'd like you to also follow me on Twitter at FioreNick579. Instagram. Follow me on Instagram at Nicholas Fiore 2014. And follow me on Facebook at Nicholas Fiore 31. Add me as a friend on Facebook if you like. Adam. He's also on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook as well. Follow him on there. Links in the description. And that is that. And let's get started with the TLC 2020 review and results. Now, we had one match on the kickoff show. We had a 6-man tag match. Big E, Daniel Bryan, Chad Gable, and Otis versus Shinsuke Nakamura, Cesaro, King Corbin, and the current Intercontinental Champion, Sami Zayn. We're going to talk about Sami Zayn and Big E just a bit with this Friday on Smackdown on Fox. We'll talk about that shortly. So, Big E and Sami try to lock up at the beginning of this thing, but Sami runs away and he tags out. Corbin then gets in, and he tries to do the display clothesline, but Big E counters with a belly-to-belly suplex. Cesaro and Gable then tag in. And then Gable tries a leapfrog, but Cesaro catches him in midair. Real nice. If there's one thing I can say right now, I love the match sequence between Cesaro and Chad Gable, man. I'd like to see more. And like two very underutilized guys, I'd love to see more get a chance of, to be brutally honest with you. Like, Cesaro Nakamura, I don't mind him as a tag team, but Shinsuke should really be on his own. Cesaro, he should be in the mid-card or wrestling for a world title, man. Cesaro, like, how do you look at this guy and not think, oh, he should get a push? He absolutely deserves a push. How do you sit there and say, oh, this guy doesn't have it? Certainly has it.
It certainly has.
Chad Gable, thank God he ditched the Shorty G name, but, you know, I think he deserves better too, to be honest with you, in my opinion. And so after Cesaro catches Gable in midair, Gable escapes and lands a series of head scissors, which look nice. Bryan then tags in and drops an elbow to Cesaro's arm. Daniel Bryan then backflips off the top rope, and then in confusion, Bryan hits Bryan hits that clothesline that Daniel Bryan comeback he does, flips over the top rope, lands on his feet, flips on the top rope, lands on his feet, ducks clothesline, and running the ropes clothesline, Daniel Bryan does. Then Nakamura kicks Bryan in the back while Cesaro has the referee distracted and tied up. Cesaro and Nakamura then double team Daniel Bryan. Then Sami Zayn and company then take turns working over Bryan. Bryan then manages to tag in Otis, who is firing up. He clears the ring and he hits a caterpillar on Nakamura. Gable then tells Otis to tag him in, so he does, and then Otis and Gable then set up what looked to be their new finisher, whatever they were going to go for, but it doesn't happen because Nakamura avoids it. And then Cesaro and Nakamura then hit their finisher on Chad Gable. Otis then breaks up the pinfall. Gable then hits the Chaos Theory on Cesaro. Sami Zayn then tags in. Gable then tags in Big E. Sami then tries to run away, but there is no one on the apron for him to tag. Big E then drops Sami Zayn with the big ending for the win. And 1, 2, 3, Big E, Daniel Bryan, Chad Gable, and Otis win this 8-man tag team contest right here on the kickoff show for TLC 2020. The floor is yours, Adam. Your thoughts on this match, and where do you see these guys going from here, especially Big E and Sami Zayn, and something they announced during the show 2 nights ago?
Well, what do I think will happen with these guys? Well, Daniel Bryan, I don't know if he's gonna feud with Roman Reigns eventually. Daniel Bryan on television with Baron Corbin.
Well, Cesaro and Nakamura, I don't think they're not with Baron Corbin right now. They're just the 2-person tag team right now, Cesaro and Nakamura. Speaking of Corbin, he's actually with Steve Cutler and Wesley Blake are now back on SmackDown, but they're paired with Baron Corbin now. Now they're called the Knights of the Lone Wolf. And actually, thinking about that now, at first, a few weeks ago, I was, I don't like this. This is just god awful. But now, I don't know. Maybe thinking about it now, the name sounds cool. And maybe, and what, and you know what? I probably don't mind it. And Cutler and Blake are very good. Much better than Jackson Riker. Jackson Riker is just boring, and he's just there.
Yeah.
He's just boring and god awful in that ring as Jackson Riker. Cutler and Blake are very good. They can wrestle. And what if Baron Corbin's like a mouthpiece or a manager for Cutler and Blake? What if he leads them to tag team gold, similar to like a Paul Ellering?
Hopefully.
I wouldn't mind that at all.
Well, Baron Corbin may have some direction with Blake and Cutler. Nakamura, so on the other hand, they have no direction together.
I like them both, and I think they're a decent tag team. But at the end of the day, I think Shinsuke, he should really be on his own, and they need to turn him back babyface. Him as a heel feels like everyone else on the roster. When he was a babyface, he felt over and special. People were singing to his theme song. Now as a heel, he doesn't feel the same.
He just doesn't.
Just break him away from Cesaro and turn him back babyface.
Well, I don't trust WWE, but WWE, I don't have any faith to book Nakamura or Cesaro, correct? I mean, they have no direction on SmackDown. You want me to put their faith in them? If WWE focuses right, give me a fucking break.
Yeah. When Cesaro should be in a mid-card or main event, could you imagine Cesaro and Roman Reigns? Like, that'll be so much better than what Cesaro's doing now. Shinsuke, the same thing.
But after tonight, they're still going to be high. They'll still have no direction for themselves on SmackDown. Owens and Chad Gable, they will do God knows what. I don't know what they will do with them. Sami saying that they have posted at TLC that after Big E pins Sami, that they will face off for the Intercontinental Championship next Friday on SmackDown.
On Christmas night.
Yeah.
I fully expect Big E to win the IC title, with the IC title being a nice Christmas present for Big E. I expect that to happen on Fox this Friday on SmackDown. So that's that. I mean, should be a good match, but I fully expect Big E to win the IC title. I'd be shocked if Sami Zayn retains.
Yeah.
But that's that. And actually, speaking of Big E, before we move on to the main show of TLC last Sunday night, Big E, his new theme song, you know what? And it's not a Def Rebel theme at all. I believe it's from Wally. I think he's good friends with the New Day, I think, is what it is. If not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. But Big E's new theme, am I the only one that kind of digs it, is kind of digging it right now?
Yeah, you're not the only one, bro. You're not the only one.
You know, Daniel Bryan, I have an issue with him on the pre-show, but at the same time I don't. But could you see Daniel Bryan winning the Royal Rumble? Do you think we get Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan at the Royal Rumble, or do you think we get it at WrestleMania? I honestly think we should get it at WrestleMania. But yeah. I mean, I wouldn't mind it at the Rumble, but we need to get it at WrestleMania. If they cannot get The Rock at WrestleMania, it needs to be Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, it needs to be Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania in the main event.
Maybe Daniel Bryan wins the Royal Rumble. If Big E is winning, and also thinking ahead of with all this, if Big E wins the IC title this Friday on Christmas night on SmackDown on Fox, if that is the case, maybe there's a chance, because I heard rumors months ago that Big E was going to win the Rumble next month. If Big E's winning the Intercontinental Championship from Sami Zayn this Friday on Christmas and on SmackDown on Fox, if that is the case, Adam, could you see him winning the Rumble as well, or just Daniel Bryan winning the Rumble? If Big E's winning the IC title this Friday, I could honestly and personally see possibly Daniel Bryan's chances of winning the Rumble have a good chance, with Bryan having a good chance, high odds of winning the Rumble next month. Maybe. I don't know if they do Owens and Reigns again at the Royal Rumble, But what do you think they go from there with that situation specifically?
Where they go with the situation, Biggie, if he's going to win the Intercontinental Championship, he's not going to win the Royal Rumble because he has a title. Because he already has a title.
Yeah. I highly doubt they do champion versus champion. They don't need to.
Yeah.
In my honest opinion, I don't think it's really necessary. But honestly, it should really be Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan. And Bryan doesn't have to beat Roman at WrestleMania. In fact, I would have Roman hold on to the belt past Mania, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Roman's literally the best thing right now. Why would you take the title off him? No reason to. When you see someone that's the best and possibly better than Roman at a time, and possibly in the future, or when you find someone who's close to someone, when there's someone that's red hot, then when you find another guy that's red hot, just as much or close enough, if not better or more so, then that's when you take the title off someone.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns, he's like, look what he's doing right now. The guy should not be losing, period, right now.
He should not be.
Yeah. He's doing great work right now. Absolutely no reason to take the title off the tribal chief.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, hopefully we get Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania. Hopefully. Maybe Daniel Bryan wins the Rumble. I'm hearing maybe Keith Lee could win the Royal Rumble, but I would give it to Daniel Bryan. Or I don't know what they do. I just hope at the end of the day we get Bryan and Reigns at Mania if they can't get The Rock. So that was the pre-show 8-man tag. A decent match, but I don't like Sami Zayn getting pinned clean, but the bet match should be decent this Friday with Big E and Sami Zayn. And like I said, I would be shocked if Big E doesn't win that title on Friday. I think we get a title change this Friday. I'd be shocked if we don't get one with the IC title this Friday on SmackDown Fox on Christmas night. So then we go on to the main show of TLC. The show starts off with the WWE Championship TLC match between Drew McIntyre and AJ Styles with Omos, or as Adam would call him, Big Jordan. Same thing. So the WWE Championship matchup starts TLC. Now, the WWE title match starting TLC. Well, my thoughts on this. Well, yeah, 2 world title matches. Both of them were under TLC stipulation. It would kind of make sense to have one TLC world title match start the show and then the other end the show. But Roman Reigns, Kevin Owens, they did not start the show. They started towards the end of the show, which should have been the main event, honestly. But we're going to talk about that later on in this video. But WWE Championship, tables, ladders, and chairs. Drew McIntyre, AJ Styles. So, as soon as the bell rung, Styles drop kicked McIntyre right in the knee. So Styles is all over McIntyre's knee. Styles then tries to suplex, but McIntyre reverses it into one of his own. McIntyre then lights Styles' chest up with a chop. McIntyre then tosses Styles clear across the ring, and then he sends AJ into the corner, and he sends him into the corner hard. Styles then goes up top rope. McIntyre chops Styles so hard he falls to the outside. Hold on. Zoom is updating me later. And then McIntyre then sends a few chairs into the ring before positioning a table close to the ring apron. Styles and McIntyre then battle outside the ring, and then McIntyre then sends AJ into a bunch of chairs. McIntyre then sets up the ladder and he starts to climb it, right? Styles then hits McIntyre in the knee with the steel chair, which looked brutal. So this causes McIntyre to fall off the ladder. Then Drew tries to slingshot AJ into the ladder, but Styles caught himself on the ladder and starts to climb. McIntyre then pulls Styles off the ladder and launched him into the chair that was wedged in the corner. My God.
Yeah.
Absolutely nasty, bro. Absolutely nasty. Then Styles hits the chair head. So Styles hits the chair head first. So Styles is down from this. Then McIntyre's climbing the ladder. McIntyre almost gets to the top, but is quickly cut off by AJ, who launched the chair at McIntyre's head. So Styles then chop blocks McIntyre while he's standing on the ladder. Styles then sets up a Styles Clash on the ladder. McIntyre counters this, though, however, and hits the Future Shock DDT. McIntyre then suplexes a ladder on Styles. Man, oh man.
Yeah.
Then as Styles writhes in pain, he manages to surprise McIntyre with another chop block. Styles then puts Drew McIntyre in the calf crusher using the ladder. Then Styles whacks McIntyre with the chair over and over and over again. Styles then puts McIntyre in the calf crusher once again, this time using a steel chair. McIntyre then slams Styles' head into the corner to break the hold. Styles then slams McIntyre's knee into the ring post. Styles then hits McIntyre in the face with the point of the ladder. McIntyre's eyes are then glazed over, and then AJ lays McIntyre on the table outside the ring. Styles is then about to try a dive, but McIntyre whips a chair at Styles, which beans him in the head. So then this spot causes Styles to hit the mat hard. Really good match so far between these two guys. It should be at WrestleMania, but you know, it is what it is. It is what it is, I guess. So then Styles then leaps off for the phenomenal forearm, but McIntyre catches him in midair, belly to belly, suplexes by McIntyre onto Styles, on the ladder. Belly to belly suplexes to AJ from Drew on the ladder, on a steel ladder, Adam. Imagine being AJ Styles taking multiple belly to belly suplexes on a steel fucking ladder. If AJ doesn't have a sore back, I would be legitimately shocked.
Yeah.
Gotta give him credit, man. One of the best in the world, man. Love AJ Styles. So then Styles then kicks McIntyre in the knee and actually hits the phenomenal forearm this time. He hits the phenomenal forearm, this AJ. So then AJ is setting up the ladder and he starts to climb this ladder, right? So then McIntyre gets to his feet. McIntyre then picks Styles off the ladder. McIntyre then press slams AJ off the ladder to the outside through a table. So AJ goes through a table on the outside. And then McIntyre climbs the ladder. And then Miz and Morrison hit the ring. And they put McIntyre through a table. And then the Miz and Morrison go to the officials, said the Miz is cashing in his Money in the Bank. So Miz cashes in the Money in the Bank briefcase. And it's now a triple threat TLC match for the WWE Championship. McIntyre versus Styles versus Miz. And so let me talk about this right now. Number one, and only number one, The Miz is a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. So, The Miz, he cashes in this briefcase, correct? He's a fresh man. He doesn't take any damage in this TLC match, right? And he cashes in, correct? So when he cashes in, he climbs this ladder, and he climbs this ladder as if he's fucking 90 years old. Are you fucking kidding me? You fucking kidding me, bro? You mean to tell me he can't climb the ladder faster? What a geek. What a geek is the fucking Miz. So then, so So when the Miz is acting like an idiot right here,
Sure.
taking his time in the ladder. Oh, but the Miz is the heel, man. That's what heels do, man. He's taking his sweet time, man. Well, wouldn't it be much more logical to not? Well, wouldn't it be much more logical to not take your time and just immediately climb the ladder so no one stops you?
Yeah, I mean, they were knocked out. They were not moving.
Oh, but Miz is the heel, man. He's playing it smart. Where? I'd love for you to tell me where he's playing a smart heel. That's not being a smart heel.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong. Weren't AJ and Drew knocked out and they were not moving?
AJ was put through a table. AJ and McIntyre were both put through a table. You mean to tell me that the Miz couldn't climb the ladder? Couldn't climb the ladder much more faster?
Yeah, but guess who was the only one that was not put through a table?
Omos. So he gets in the ring and he pulls Miz off the ladder. Omos is then carrying Miz like a little baby. Then Omos tosses Miz over the top rope through a table. Morrison then hits Omos in the back with a steel chair. So this causes the chair to explode. Then Omos is unfazed. Omos then chases Morrison to the backstage area. Then Styles and McIntyre both climb the ladder. Then as AJ and McIntyre fight, Miz sets up his own ladder. McIntyre then knocks Styles off the ladder. Then McIntyre pushes Miz off the ladder. Styles hops back up top. Miz pulls McIntyre off the ladder. Styles and Miz fight on top of the ladder over the title. McIntyre gets to his feet and pushes over the ladder, knocking Miz back down to the mat and Styles over the top rope to the outside area. McIntyre then drops Miz with the Claymore. McIntyre then climbs the ladder and he pulls down the title for the win. And the winner and still your WWE champion, Drew McIntyre. And the Miz becomes the fourth man in WWE history to fail a Money in the Bank cash in. Your thoughts on all of this and the Miz?
Well, the match was actually good, but the Miz, what a fucking idiot. And by the way,
what a fucking geek is the Miz.
By the way, WWE put it on I think on WWE.com, that the Miz made history, but not the way he wanted to make history.
Nope. 2010, he had a Money in the Bank cash in, but was successful in cashing in. 2020 this time, the exact opposite.
Yeah.
And again, I must say, the Miz is a fucking geek.
They said that the Miz has made history by becoming the man to successfully and unsuccessfully cash in his Money in the Bank briefcase.
The Miz is an idiot. The Miz is a fucking geek. Oh, but you're happy that the Miz failed his cash-in, man. Why are you happy he failed his cash-in, man? We need new blood. We need change with Miz as a WWE champion, man.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't he traded a decade ago? How good was this one? Yeah, it was so good. So much so that Alex Riley was far better than he was as the WWE champion.
And when the Miz was booked like a shit champion in 2010 when he was WWE champion. He was booked like a chicken shit field champion. He was booked like a chump champion. How many matches when Miz was WWE champion in 2010? How many matches did he win clean when he was the WWE champion? How many?
0.
And the guys he beat, like Orton and Cena, that was because of what? Outside interference from CM Punk and the Nexus and The Rock, respectively. And Alex Riley as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't he need Michael Cole to help beat Jerry the King Lawler in a TLC match 10 years ago?
Yeah.
Didn't he need The Rock's help to beat John Cena at WrestleMania 27 in Atlanta?
Yeah.
How many times did Miz win clean when he was WWE champion his first run? The only one that I can remember was that first Raw 2011 against John Morrison in that Falls Count Anywhere match for the title, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was the only time Miz won clean when he was the WWE champion his first run back 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And yet there's going to be idiots on here. Oh, why are you happy the Miz failed his cash-in, man? We need freshness on Monday Night Raw with Miz as a WWE champion, man. How many matches did he win clean when he was a two-time Mr. Money in the Bank? How many? Outside of that 3-on-2 handicap match from a few weeks ago on Raw. How many?
Zero. And most of his singles matches, he got pinned.
Clean.
He got pinned.
Clean. And here's another thing too, and more importantly, on top of all of this, this was terrible with the cash in with the Miz last 2 nights ago at TLC, and if this is what you were gonna do with all of this 2 nights ago, Otis should have never lost the briefcase. If this is what you were gonna do 2 nights ago, could you imagine if the briefcase would have stayed on Otis, and if it would have stayed on Otis, correct? Otis could have probably cashed, and if the briefcase would have stayed on Otis, maybe Otis would have cashed in 2 nights ago. Even if Otis did a dumb babyface syndrome or not, it doesn't matter. At least Roman would have made Otis look like a fucking star.
Yeah.
And it probably would have made Otis into an even bigger babyface. I know there's no fans now, but still. And it would have made Roman into an even bigger heel. Because because lately anything that Roman touches nowadays turns to fucking gold.
Yeah.
Roman Reigns wouldn't have buried Otis. He would not have buried Otis.
He wouldn't have buried him.
And like I just said, if this was what they were going to do with the Miz 2 nights ago, Otis should have never lost that briefcase. It should have stayed on him. Even if they moved Tucker to Raw this year with the draft, and even if Otis would have been on SmackDown with the briefcase without Tucker, it doesn't matter. If this was what you were going to do with the fucking Miz 2 nights ago, the briefcase should have never left Otis. And the briefcase should have stayed with Otis cashing in 2 nights ago. That would have been a whole lot better with the briefcase staying on Otis, with Otis cashing in 2 nights ago, involving himself with Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. It would have made Otis and Owens into 2 big baby faces, and it would have made Roman into an even bigger heel. And he would have made a new star in Otis, and it would have been more pros than cons. It would have been a win-win situation. Why do I come up with this better than the people who actually work for the current company, especially on Monday nights?
Yeah. They completely wasted the money in the bank all year since May. They completely wasted it.
The women's and men's briefcases they both wasted this year.
Yeah, but mostly the men. Mostly the men.
I agree. I mean, Otis, he was a tag team wrestler the majority of this year. I understand that, but hell, at least Otis, when he was Mr. Money in the Bank, at least he won matches. For Christ's sake. At least he won matches. Oh, but the Money in the Bank doesn't have to win often, man. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. If you are a Money in the Bank briefcase holder and if you don't win often, who's going to care? Who's going to care? Look at Sheamus 5 years ago when he was Mr. Money in the Bank. When he was Mr. Money in the Bank 5 years ago. How many matches did he win? He was booked so well as Money in the Bank holder in 2015, 5 years ago with Sheamus. So much so, he'd beat Orton, then lose to him, then beat Roman, lose to him, beat Neville, lose to him. He beat Cesaro, lose to him.
Yeah.
With 50-50 booking. Oh, but Sheamus wasn't booked that poorly in 2015 as Mr. Money in the Bank, man.
Yes, he was.
Yes, he was. And the Miz, like I just said moments ago, him as a 2-time Mr. Money in the Bank. How many matches did he actually win clean? None. Outside of the 3-on-2 handicap match with AJ, Miz, and Morrison versus Sheamus and McIntyre, 0. Outside of that, 0. And most of the times, Miz was pinned clean. Fed to Drew McIntyre every single Monday on Raw. Every week. Fed to McIntyre. Clean.
Yeah, but clean.
Now, where did Now, where does Miz and Morrison go from here? At this point, I don't even really give a shit.
Yeah, at this point, we don't give a fuck.
And Morrison, man, get him away from the Miz, man. Morrison paired with Miz is doing him nothing but disrespect, man. Nothing but disrespect to Morrison by pairing him with the fucking Miz.
Yeah.
Can we get Morrison away from the Miz and on his own? Why is he paired with the Miz? Legitimately, I ask that. Why is Morrison not on his own fighting for the US or WWE title or on SmackDown fighting? Why is he not on Raw on his own fighting for the US or WWE title or on SmackDown on his own fighting for the IC Universal title or on Raw fighting for the US or WWE title on his own?
Yeah. Why isn't he doing that? Yeah, he's being manhandled by Big Jordan.
Miz is nothing but dead weight that's holding Morrison down. This isn't 2008 anymore. It's 2020. Miz and Morrison may have been entertaining back in the day, but it's not going to work anymore now in 2020/2021. It's not. No matter how hard they try, it's not going to work anymore.
2021. No one wants to see them teaming up.
Yeah. Yeah. And The Miz has been dead since last year. Ever since the loss to Shane McMahon last year, The Miz has never, ever recovered from that. The Miz has been dead since last year when he lost to Shane McMahon clean. And when you put someone with a dead act, that's going to turn that someone into a dead act too. It's like adding a -5 and a +2. And you end up with a -3. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Morrison is worth so much more than being paired with The Miz. Get him away from The Miz. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But other than that, a decent match between AJ and McIntyre. And then The Miz cash in. McIntyre retains. Good. Good. Back of the line you go, Miz. Right where you need to be. So then the next match, we get the SmackDown Women's Championship match between Sasha Banks versus Carmella. So, Carmella rolls out of the ring. So, Carmella, with this Kofi Kingston ripoff, Akeem is what his name is.
Yeah, the guy looks like has same facial expressions but different hair, like Kofi Kingston.
Yeah, I think Akeem is what his name is. He's at ringside for Carmella. Carmella makes her entrance. Sasha makes her entrance as well. So, with this match, Carmella rolls out of the ring as soon as the bell rung. Banks then chases, but Carmella hits Banks with their previous injured back that she hit with the bottle this past Friday and a few weeks ago on SmackDown. So then Banks pulls Carmella out of the ring. Then Banks lands an arm drag off the apron to the outside, which looked nice. Banks then sends Carmella back in the ring for a near fall. Carmella then slaps Banks in the face. Banks then sends Carmella out of the ring, but Carmella's manager then catches Carmella. Banks then tries to attack, but Carmella's manager, or Sommelier, then throws Carmella at Banks. And when this happens, Carmella, so they do this with a thing. So they do this with Carmella catching Sasha by the legs to hit a Hurricane Rana, which looked nice, which I will say looked decent, which I do have to give credit for. Then Carmella gets a near fall from this. Then Carmella lands a muff buster in the corner. Banks then kicks out again. Carmella then locks in her rear chin lock. Banks then gets to her feet and drives Carmella into the corner. Snap bear by Sasha Banks. Then Carmella then sits up long enough for Banks to get for the Meteora. Then Carmella and Banks then fight on the apron. Carmella then slams Banks back into the apron. Banks then fires up and lands the Three Amigos. Little tribute there to Latino Eddie Guerrero, Sasha's hero. So that was nice. That was a nice little tribute to Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah, that was nice.
Then Banks hits a frog splash. Speaking of Eddie, after the Three Amigos hits a frog splash, Carmella kicks out. Carmella then lands the X Factor. Now, Carmella hits this X Factor facebuster, right? When she does this, I swear, Sasha's head hit the mat so hard I thought Sasha was not going to kick out of it. So, but Banks kicks out. Then Carmella goes for cover again. Sasha kicks out. Carmella goes for cover again. Sasha kicks out. So then Carmella starts to get frustrated. So then Carmella starts to get frustrated, but then Banks. So Carmella starts to get frustrated. Banks would not stay down. Carmella then chokes Banks using the ropes. Then Carmella unloads on Banks as she is laying on the apron. So Banks isn't moving, and then Carmella then super kicks Banks. Carmella then attempts a pin, but Banks grabs the bottom rope to break up the pinfall. So then Carmella screams in frustration. Then Carmella tries to run off the top, but Banks rolls through into a pin. So Carmella kicks out. Banks, Carmella then trade pin attempts. Then Carmella puts Banks in the code of silence. Banks then almost reverses it into a Banks statement, but Carmella reverses it into another submission. Banks then turns that into the Banks statement. Carmella's manager then pulls her out of the ring to break the hold. Banks dives off the apron and hits the Meteora on Carmella's manager, takes him out. Carmella then super kicks Banks. Carmella then only gets a near fall from this. Carmella then super kicks Banks, throws her back in the ring. Then Carmella goes for the pin. 1, 2, kick out. So Banks barely kicks out, and I almost had a fucking heart attack there, to be brutally honest. So then Carmella goes nuts from this, that Banks kicked out. And then Banks puts Carmella, she locks Carmella in the Banks statement, and Carmella taps out. And the winner and still your SmackDown Women's Champion, Sasha Banks, and rightfully so. I do want to say this though, man. And listen, I'm not the biggest Carmella fan. I'm really not, but I have to give where credit is due, man. Yeah, Sasha Banks carried her to a great match, not a great match, a good match. This was probably Carmella's one of Carmella's good matches of her career, outside of the one with Bayley this past February on SmackDown on Valentine's Day, if you remember that. This is before the pandemic.
Yeah.
But Carmella, man, I mean, listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Carmella. I'm really not. But you know, she's really not that bad in the ring. She's a lot better than Dana Brooke. I'd much rather Carmella over Dana Brooke any day of the week. She's better than Nia Jax. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
But your thoughts on all this? Carmella, Sasha Banks retaining in the match. Your take on all this. The floor is yours.
Well, this was a good match.
Oh boy. Go ahead. Yeah, you're. Yes. Oh, there you go.
What's going on around here?
Oh, sorry, a little technical difficulty, but anyways, the floor is yours, Adam. Your thoughts on Sasha, Carmella in this match itself?
Well, this was a good match. This was a good match, to be fair. And the way the outcome happened.
Yeah. Sasha retaining is the right move. I don't care what anyone says. Plus, WrestleMania is coming around soon. What about doing Sasha versus Bianca or versus Bayley at WrestleMania? Sasha and Bayley, I feel like there's unfinished business, and I feel like there's more left that hasn't been used yet for Sasha and Bayley in their rivalry. What if Bianca or Bayley wins the Rumble next month? That could be something.
Yeah, that could be something. We can't get that.
Hello?
Yeah.
Okay, good. But yeah. This match, a decent match. Carmella brought Sasha to no. Sasha brought Carmella to a good match, but this is probably Carmella's one of her good matches this year, outside of the one with Bayley this past February. But that's how good Bayley and Sasha are. But your thoughts on Carmella's in-ring skills and thoughts on Sasha retaining and your thoughts on this match, and where do you think both ladies go from here?
Where do they go from here? Sasha should take the title against
But there's Natalia, man.
Who gives a fuck about her?
Oh, but she's part of the Hart family, man.
Who cares?
Oh, but she's a legend. She's good in the ring, man.
Oh, wow. How many matches has she won all year? Number one.
Oh, but she's a legend, man.
Legend where? Where? I asked you where.
And, I mean, Natalia may be good in the ring, but in the charisma department, charisma vacuum.
Yeah.
Charisma vacuum. Natalia has just as much charisma as these goggles.
Yeah.
These goggles have a lot more charisma than Natalia.
Yeah.
Natalia may be good in the ring, but my God, is Natalia cringe.
Yeah. She does not deserve to be in the Smackdown Women's title. How about we do Ruby Riott and Sasha Banks for a meeting to the Royal Rumble? I won't mind that.
Or Sasha Banks. Yeah, Sasha Banks and Ruby Riott. And Ruby Riott's not bad in the ring at all. She's good in the ring. She's a very good promo.
Yeah. Give her a Smackdown Women's title to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. Or even Sasha Banks. Yeah, you could do that. Or even Sasha Banks and Liv Morgan. Look at where Liv Morgan is right now in the ring.
Yeah, she's gotten better.
Look at when Liv Morgan started in 2016 and look at her now in 2020. It's like two completely different people.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan has improved a ton in that ring. She's actually gotten so much better, and she tries and she cares. She's improved immensely in that ring. So Ruby Riott or Liv Morgan, I don't mind that at all. Oh, but they're a tag team, man. They could go for the women's tag team titles, man. It doesn't matter. And like I've said before, and it proves my point further, the women's tag team titles, one other reason they should just get rid of one other reason why the women's tag team titles should just be fucking get rid. One other reason why the women's tag team titles need to be gone. The women's tag team titles, I personally feel, is really pigeonholing some of these women, like Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan, and Shayna Baszler. You know, get rid of the women's tag team titles. It's pigeonholing some of these women who could realistically fight for a singles women's title. Why can't I see Ruby Riott and Sasha Banks? Why can't I see Liv Morgan and Bayley? Or Liv Morgan and Sasha Banks, or Bayley and Ruby Riott, or Shayna Baszler versus Asuka? Like, what's the difference? Why are you pigeonholing some of these women? Just, like, get rid of the women's tag team titles. Get rid of women's tag team titles. Just get rid of it. Burn them. The women's tag team titles mean nothing. Ever since the Iconics won them at WrestleMania 35, they've meant nothing. Just get rid of them. Carmella, where she goes from here, I don't know, but Carmella, yeah, she'll go right back to catering. But Sasha retaining is the right move. Absolutely the right move. Where do you think, and you were saying who Sasha should face at the Rumble? Because the Rumble's coming up next month. Oh, yeah. And I know there's going to be some geek, oh, but Ruby Riott's in the Riott Squad tag team, man. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And it's also face versus face, man. That's what's the difference? What's the difference? Yeah. Oh, but Ruby and Sasha fought each other before, man. Don't they have good in-ring chemistry with each other?
Yeah.
Or even Sasha Banks, Liv Morgan. That's something fresh and new and different. Yeah. Carmella here, she lost clean, and this has to be over. She lost clean here. Carmella lost clean here. This should be it. Yeah. So, Sasha Banks retains. Absolutely the right decision. I don't care what anyone says. Sasha Banks is the best you have in the SmackDown Women's Division right now, outside of Bayley and Bianca Belair. No reason to take the title off Sasha right now. So Sasha retains. Absolutely the right call. So then we go backstage. Billie Kay is then asking Asuka if she can be her tag team partner for tonight. Kay then shows Asuka her resume. Notice she's a former women's tag team champion and she is fluent in Japanese. Then Asuka says something in Japanese. I don't know what it was, what the meaning of it was. Then Asuka then tells Kay the position has been filled. Billie Kay is fucking terrible in the ring. Oh, but Billie Kay is hot, man. Billie Kay is hot, man. She may be good to look at, but in the ring. Nobody
wants to see her number one. Nobody wants to see her on TV.
Yeah, she is Billie Kay. She is terrible. She is awful. Yeah. Yeah. So then we get to the Raw Tag Team title match. New Day of Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods versus the Hurt Business of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin with MVP. So we get this Raw Tag Team title match here on the show. This match, the 1 millionth match we've seen between these two teams. Now, and this is their Raw Tag Team division. This is all they fucking have. So they have. Yeah. Oh, but you have the Lucha House Party, man. You have Retribution, man. They can go for the tag team titles on Monday nights, man. They have Miz and Morrison, man. They have the War Raiders, man. Hanson is injured. And he'll continue to be in catering until Hanson comes back. And most of all, they're too busy now chasing the 24/7 title. With our truth. Miz and Morrison, they're too busy losing to McIntyre every Monday on Raw. Retribution, don't even get me started on them. T-Balls. DJ Storm's good old buddy T-Balls. Slap nuts. Mace or Disgrace or Mice. And they always say, shut it down. Shut it down. Shut it down.
Yeah.
I wish. God.
I wish Vince McMahon was shut down for running the WWE.
I wish Monday Night Raw was shut down.
I wish Braun Strowman was shut down.
You know, who we haven't seen as of late. Good. I don't wish injury on anyone. I do not wish injury on anyone at all whatsoever. But Braun Strowman is terrible. Keep him off television. So, Raw Tag Team title match. We get Cedric Alexander charging in and super kicking Kofi Kingston. Then Woods lands a leg drop off the top for a near fall. Kingston then tags back in and hits a crossbody off the top rope for another quick near fall. Woods then tags in. Woods and Kingston then hit a flurry of moves on Cedric. Woods then gets another near fall after an inverted suplex. Benjamin breaks up the pin. Benjamin tags and hits a spine buster on Woods. Woods kicks out. Outside the ring, MVP gives Cedric a bottle of water to get right. Then Woods crushes Benjamin on the second rope. Woods then drop kicks Cedric in the process. Then Kingston lands a stomp onto Benjamin. DDT by Woods onto Benjamin for a near fall. Benjamin then surprises Xavier Woods with a flying knee. Cedric and Benjamin then take turns working over Woods. Woods then manages to tag in Kingston, who clears the ring. Kingston tries the boom drop, but Benjamin catches him in a powerbomb position. Benjamin and Cedric then set up a doomsday, but Kingston rolls Benjamin up to avoid Cedric as he flies through the air. Everyone hits a big move. Benjamin tries the Olympic or angle slam, but Kingston avoids it. Kingston then kicks both Benjamin and Cedric in the face. Kingston goes up top. Benjamin cuts Kingston off. Benjamin with a butterfly suplex off the top. Benjamin then calls for pay dirt, but Cedric Alexander tags himself in and hits the lumbar check on Kofi Kingston for the win in the Raw Tag Team titles. And the winners and your new Raw Tag Team champions, the Hurt Business of Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin. So now, 4 members of the Hurt Business now with some gold. Bobby Lashley is the United States champion, and now Cedric and Shelton now as the Raw Tag Team champions. Your thoughts on this match and this decision to give the Raw Tag Team titles to the Hurt Business, and where do you think both teams go from here, and who do you think challenges the Hurt Business in the future for the Raw Tag Team Championships, who just won them 2 nights ago at TLC? Adam, my brother, go right ahead.
Well, this was a good match. We've seen it already.
Yeah. This is your Raw Tag Team division. Two teams. That's not a division. Hello?
I can hear you.
Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. You were saying?
Well, we already knew what the outcome was going to be before the match.
And if the New Day would have retained, who else would have been there for the New Day to face? You know, they have this apparent new tag team on Raw now, new one now called the Hardy Bros. But I honestly think Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy should be on their own, to be brutally honest with you. But Hurt Business and the Hardy Bros, it looks like that's where they're going. But where do you think both teams go from here? Who do you think challenges Hurt Business next for the titles?
Well, it's going to be Matt Riddle and Jeff Hardy.
Yeah, because Raw has no other fucking teams. It could be the Lucha House Party, but they're too busy chasing the 24/7 title. Hanson is injured. Rowe's going to be in Titus Catering until Hanson comes back. Miz and Morrison are fucking losers on this show on Raw. Retribution are a fucking failure on this show on Raw. Raw has no teams outside of 2 teams. 2-team division is Raw.
They have 2 teams on Monday Night Raw.
2-3 teams. You have 2-3 teams on this show. Now, I know probably some people are going to say end the brand split. I would not do that. This is what I would do. Not end the brand split. If you're going to end the brand split, only do it for the women in the tag teams, and that is it. You could still have a brand split, but just end the brand split for only the women and the tag teams. Because right now, the women right now, a lot of them are not good. And tag teams, there's not a whole lot of tag teams right now.
Yeah.
Just unify the tag titles and women's titles, and that's it. You could still have a brand split, but just merge the tag team and women's divisions. That's all you got to do. That's all you have to do. There's not really a whole lot of tag teams right now. There's not a whole lot of tag teams right now at all. The women, at least 70% of the women are not good right now. Oh, but Lacey Evans is great, man. She sucks. Lacey Evans may be good to look at, but in the ring, she's terrible. Billie Kay, awful. Dana Brooke, awful. Nia Jax, unsafe in-ring worker and awful. Deadweight palm tree haircut Tamina.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Shocking.
Not for the right reasons. You don't got to end the brand split. Just merge the tag team and women's divisions, and that's it. That's all you got to do, and it would be better off for it. Now, if there was a whole lot of tag teams, if there were a whole lot of good women and a whole lot of good tag teams, then I would say it's okay for 2 divisions and 2 titles for the women and tag teams. But now, not a whole lot of tag teams and not a lot of good women right now. And not a lot of good not a lot of women right now who are good right now. And not a whole lot of women right now who are actually good right now.
Yeah.
That's my opinion on all of that. But Hurt Business won the Raw Tag Team titles. We've seen this match with New Day and Hurt Business already. Yeah, I'm happy for the Hurt Business, but New Day and Hurt Business, we've seen this match already. And after TLC, where the New Day goes from here, I could care less. But the Hurt Business, I could see them versus the Hardy Bros, and I would save that for WrestleMania. If that's what WWE wants to do. But Hurt Business and New Day, good match, but we've seen it already. So why should I care? Well, before that, we go backstage. Sami Zayn tries to get Kayla Braxton to tell him who gave her the audio of him yelling at the production staff. Sami Zayn says he's the real Intercontinental Champion. Braxton refuses this, and then they announce for Friday on SmackDown. Then they announce for SmackDown this Friday on Fox on Christmas night. One of the matches for the show this Friday, Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn defending the Intercontinental Championship against Big E. So the match is set, and it is official, folks. Big E. I fully expect Big E to win the Intercontinental Championship, become a 2-time Intercontinental Champion, because Big E's a former Intercontinental Champion from late 2013, if you remember. Big E's going to be a 2-time IC Champion this Friday, and Big E's going to get a good old nice Christmas present this Friday with the Intercontinental title on Christmas.
He will, bro. He will.
Yep. I would be totally shocked. I would be absolutely surprised if Big E does not win that IC title this Friday.
Yeah, it'll be shocked, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. So then, I don't even want to say this upcoming match right now. I'm just giving this floor to you for this match. I don't even want to talk about this because this is just going to piss me off.
Women's Tag Team Championship match. Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Nia Box against Asuka and a mystery partner. And you guess who the mystery partner is?
Man, I wonder who that is. I wonder who that is.
It starts with the last name Flair. And it's not, by the way, it's not Ric Flair.
Charlotte. This is Monday Night Raw's response to a 1.52 rating last Monday. Charlotte now back. I don't know how this makes Raw good. The Raw Women's Division just got that much more fucking worse. You think Charlotte's going to make the Raw Women's Division better? You are a fool.
Yeah. Out of the box ideas that Vince McMahon wants for Monday Night Raw, and this was one of them. Not surprised.
And apparently Vince quote gets it now with the low Raw ratings now. Where? I must ask you where. Charlotte being back? Man, that's gonna bring the Raw ratings up a big bunch, right? Right? Because Charlotte's a draw, right? Right? Sure.
Oh my god.
Charlotte Flair back. My God.
Oh, joy. Oh, joy.
Yet there's people in this community that are happy that Charlotte's back, and some people who are just blind as hell saying, "Oh, Charlotte's great. How does she kill the Raw Women's Division? How does she make them worse? She's one of the greatest of all time, man." Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
Yeah, right.
Uh,
Oh my God.
now, Charlotte Flair's Asuka's mystery partner. Is this a big fuck you to Asuka? I mean, to Lana?
Well, bro, I just recently heard a report out of the flights.
Go ahead.
That there's a lot of push that WWE was pushing Lana to punish her.
Yeah, I read the report too. Oh, but it has nothing to do with Miro and AEW, man. Oh, yes, it fucking does.
Yes, it does. The report showed it. That they were pushing her just to simply punish her. And they had no plan for her to be at TLC.
Oh, but Monday Night Raw's not afraid of AEW, man. Raw's not afraid of AEW, man. That pissant t-shirt company, man. Motherfucker, yes, they are.
They are. Yes, they are. This is what happens when...
The fear is real.
This is what happens when you push someone who nobody gives a fuck about.
And is booed and hated for all the wrong fucking reasons.
Yeah.
And no, Charlotte's not a good heel. She is go away heat.
She's go away heat.
At this point, she's just as bad as Baron Corbin, if not worse.
Yeah.
And I can't believe I'm actually saying that. And this also may be worse than the Roman agenda. And this also may be worse than the Roman agenda. Roman Reigns was never even this bad. John Cena was never this bad. Hulk Hogan, Cena and Hogan, they were never this bad. For everybody that shits on John Cena, look at the guys he's put over. You never see them come out there and say, you know what, every time I'm here, I'm only putting myself over and I'm going to book myself to win championship gold left and right, and I'm going to bury the future. You never see Cena and Hogan do that. Never. Look at the people that Cena and Hogan have put over. The guys that Hogan's put over. Brock Lesnar, The Big Show in Madison Square Garden. Brock Lesnar via a submission bear hug. Kurt Angle, Yokozuna, The Rock, The Undertaker, John Cena. John Cena. He's put over AJ Styles, Shinsuke Nakamura, Bray Wyatt, Fiend and non-Fiend. He's put over Balor, Nakamura, AJ Styles, Kevin Owens, Dean Ambrose, Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, CM Punk, yeah. Nakamura, Styles. He put AJ Styles over clean big time at SummerSlam 2016. He put AJ over clean at SummerSlam 2016, and he pretty much passed the torch to AJ. He put Kevin Owens over at Elimination Chamber 2015. He put Owens over clean at the time. And who does Charlotte put over clean? Who does Charlotte elevate as a star? She elevates nobody, and I mean nobody but herself. Charlotte only does things when it's for her. Charlotte doesn't elevate anything for a women's division, and only elevates and only wants to elevate herself. If it's not in it for her, she'll only put her. If it's not in it for only her, she'll only put herself over. Charlotte is selfish. She is selfish. She is just as bad as Bill Goldberg.
Yeah.
Look at Rhea Ripley at WrestleMania 36. NXT didn't even want Charlotte Flair as NXT Women's Champion. Rhea was supposed to go over. And what does Charlotte do? She uses her backstage politics to protect her spot. Because Charlotte can't handle it when someone is on the top better than her, because Charlotte's a big crybaby who's always given and handed everything on a silver platter. And they changed the outcomes mostly because of who? Charlotte Flair in her backstage political poll. Because Charlotte only thinks about herself. Charlotte, and like I said, Charlotte's selfish. Charlotte doesn't love the business. She's only there for this. Just like Goldberg, Charlotte's only there for the money and the money. She's there for the money and the money only. Yeah. And Charlotte being Asuka's partner. Correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Asuka and Charlotte hate each other this past June after TakeOver in your house?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they're friends? Where's the sense? And Charlotte calling Asuka her friend? Where's the sense in all this? This insults the fans' intelligence. And there was an episode of Raw Talk this past early June, right? Charlotte was on there. She said something about being entitled, saying that these naysayers are calling us the naysayers and haters, saying about us that, you know, we're too negative and that we always criticize her way too much and we don't know saying basically that we don't know shit about her, and saying that when she was saying I bust my ass and I don't win a title as soon as I'm back and I bust my ass and I love this business. Sure you do, Charlotte. Sure you do. So this makes Charlotte into a liar and a hypocrite. Big time. This makes Charlotte into a lying hypocrite. Nothing but a selfish and spoiled brat is Charlotte Flair.
She doesn't win championships on her entire match. Well, it happened at TLC this past Sunday night.
And she can't handle it when someone not her is in the spotlight, not her. She always hogs the spotlight. She can't stand it she can't stand it when there's someone in the spotlight that's not her. And she can't take that.
Hold on. You know what I was seeing? I was seeing after Charlotte safety house. You know that Charlotte was out for 6 months and she was watching, and I was assuming, because how could she not be? I was assuming that she was watching Sasha Banks and Bayley carry the entire women's division on Raw and Smackdown as the Raw, Smackdown, and Women's Tag Team Champions at the same time, when they were holding all 4 titles.
And Charlotte couldn't handle that.
Yeah.
Charlotte can't take that. That eats at her. Charlotte can't stand it when she's not in the spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not her role. It's not about her winning the Smackdown Women's title and then dropping a month later to Charlotte Money in the Bank 2019. So I was guessing that Becky, Sasha, and Bayley, they were double champions, correct? What the fuck they were doing. And Charlotte doesn't stand that, of course. She doesn't stand it when her other first women are doing better than her, and she wants to be a double champion just like they were.
Yeah. Yeah, and Charlotte can't handle it because she's a big fucking crybaby who's used to being given everything.
Yeah.
Because she was spoiled when she was a young girl.
Yeah. I was assuming that she was angry. And not even her pride could bring a smile to her face.
And yet Charlotte wanted to say months ago, people want more Charlotte Flair. No, Charlotte, honey, we don't need more of you.
No one will Nobody even watched you on television. I mean,
Charlotte was even killing the NXT Women's Division and the NXT Women's title until Takeover in Your House when Io won the championship.
Yeah.
Io. Yet Charlotte wants to say she has passion for this business, right? Charlotte, you don't even care about NXT. When you left NXT and when you left NXT in 2015 and in 2020, nobody missed you when you left. Even the NXT fans and even NXT knows that Charlotte can't cut it. Even they don't like her for all the wrong reasons. And originally, Rhea was supposed to win at WrestleMania 36. Rhea Ripley. And now look at the NXT Women's Division. Look at where they're at now, with Charlotte not there. How much better are they now? How much better are they now without Charlotte? In fact, Charlotte not in NXT anymore makes the NXT Women's Division that much better. And now look who they have: Toni Storm, Ember Moon. Charlotte wishes she was Toni Storm and Ember Moon.
Yeah.
I swear, the Charlotte agenda is absolutely fucking nauseating. This is worse than the Roman agenda. Roman Reigns was never even this bad. At least Roman makes you look good. Charlotte doesn't make anyone look good but herself.
Well, maybe the first 2 times, if I remember.
Yeah. I mean, Sheamus in like 2015, but really, Sheamus in 2015 was booked like shit.
Yeah.
Yep. And like I said, Roman was never even this bad. Like, yeah, the Roman agenda was nauseating, but Roman was never this bad, ever like Charlotte. At least Roman had good matches. And at least Roman made people look good. Look at Buddy Murphy from last year with Roman Reigns and Buddy Murphy from last August. Remember that great match? That match was fucking great. Or the first Raw after the 2016 draft. That one too. Or Roman Reigns and Keith Lee at last year's Survivor Series. Charlotte, when she was NXT Women's Champion, she didn't put anyone over but herself. She beat Mia Yim. She refused to take the pinfall in that NXT Women's Tag match with Charlotte and Chelsea Green versus Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai. Even the triple threat takeover in your house for the NXT Women's title. Charlotte, even like you said, even refused to take the pinfall. Because Charlotte, God forbid, Charlotte herself loses, period. Or takes a pinfall or submission, period. Clean. You see why we hate Charlotte Flair? Do you see why we hate Charlotte Flair? Oh, but she's a good heel, man. No, she's not. And she's booed for the wrong reasons. This is worse than even Roman was never this bad. And for everybody that shits on Roman and Hogan and Cena and Triple H, and quote Triple H with the golden shovel, Triple H doesn't bury talent. This is the same man who put the Undertaker over clean 3 times at WrestleMania. He put Jeff Hardy over. He put Daniel Bryan over. He put The Shield over. He put over Lesnar, Goldberg, Angle, Batista, Sheamus, Orton, Kane, Big Show, Kurt Hennig, Mick Foley, Stone Cold, The Rock, Undertaker, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan. And who does Charlotte Flair put? Oh, go ahead.
And he put over
In '02. Yep, at SummerSlam in '02. And I believe it was in Albany, August '02 at SummerSlam '02.
Yeah, it was August.
In Albany, right? If not mistaken.
Yeah.
Or in a street fight. From behind when Shawn was celebrating. Didn't even realize it. Yeah. So for everyone that also wants to harp on Triple H saying that he buries talent, no, he doesn't. Y'all got to stop pointing the finger at Cena and Hogan and Roman and Triple H. Y'all got to stop pointing the finger at y'all got to stop pointing the finger at those four guys because they put people over. Hell, even Roman made Owens into a star 2 nights ago, and we're going to talk about that very shortly.
Yeah.
Roman made Owens into a star. Roman made Owens into a star at TLC 2 nights ago, but we're going to go over that very shortly. And yeah, but yeah, Roman puts people over. And who does Charlotte put over? No one. Who does Charlotte put over clean?
Outside of the four horsemen. Outside of Sasha Banks.
Yeah, and especially the only one she puts over is her BFF Becky Lynch, because Charlotte and Becky Lynch, we all know they're real. We all know they're big time best friends. We all know they're really. We all know they're real good. We all know that they're best friends. Charlotte only puts over the four. Charlotte only puts over the horsewomen, like especially Becky. She only puts over Becky Lynch, her friend.
Yeah.
And Becky Lynch doesn't bury people either. Like the four horsewomen, a knock from the four horsemen. Who do you think was the one who came up with that? The Flairs.
Yeah, the Flairs.
Or remember the Click back in the day that used to bury talent? Though Shawn Michaels did some dirty politicking shit in the 90s, I remember. He didn't want to put Austin over at Mania 14, but The Undertaker threatened to beat Shawn's ass, and Shawn was forced to put Austin over at Mania 14, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But the four horsewomen, a knockoff of the four horsemen and the Click. Who do you think was the one who came up with the four horsewomen with burying talent? It was the Flairs.
Yeah.
It was the fucking Flairs.
It was Charlotte and Daddy. Who was watching the match, by the way?
Yeah.
Who was watching the match, by the way?
From Gorilla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Becky Lynch doesn't even bury talent. She even wanted to put Shayna Baszler over clean at WrestleMania 36. She even wanted that. A month before she was announces that she was going to be pregnant and be a mother.
Yeah.
But my God, I don't even want to talk about this Charlotte shit anymore. It's just making me fucking ill now at this point.
I know.
But the women's tag team title match. So Baszler lands in a few kicks. Asuka responds with a few kicks of her own. Baszler and Asuka trade submission attempts with each other. Baszler almost stomps on Asuka's arm, but Asuka avoids it. Asuka then tags in Flair, who then destroys Baszler with a lariat, because Charlotte doesn't like selling at all. She knows sell shit. She only makes herself look good. So then Flair says she wants Jax. Flair blatantly calling out shots, which I can't fucking stand, because Charlotte's a politic playing little bitch. So Baszler then tags in Jax. Jax misses a splash in the corner. Flair locks in a side headlock. Yeah, something we want to see from the Queen, right?
Yeah.
This is badass. Side headlock. This is awesome, guys. So then Flair hits the ropes for a shoulder block, but Jax isn't phased. Asuka then tags in and he lands a series of strikes. Double knee code breaker. Oops. WWE commentators can't say code breaker because of Chris Jericho now in AEW.
Yeah.
So double knee code breaker by Asuka. Asuka then goes up top. Jackson pulls Asuka off the top for a Samoan drop. Asuka escapes and tries to roll up. Jax doesn't go down. Baszler attacks and then stomps on Asuka's arm. Baszler and Jax take turns working over Asuka. Then Asuka manages to tag in the Queen. Charlotte then clears the ring. Rick is shown backstage and Gorilla watching his daughter wrestle. Then Charlotte gets a near fall after a big boot. The Queen's boot. Then Flair hits a god-awful moonsault, man. Charlotte back with their god-awful moonsault to the outside on Nia Jax, man. And Shayna Baszler. Awful. Awful moonsault does Charlotte Flair do. Then Asuka gets... It's all knees. It's all knees when she does it. It's terrible. Then Asuka gets a blind tag. Jax then Simone drops Flair. Asuka surprises Jax with a drop kick. Flair tags herself in. Flair puts Baszler in the figure 8 leg lock. And Charlotte is going for the bridge, but Jax breaks it up. And then Baszler almost locks in the curve Luda clutch, but Baszler turns it into a bend. Baszler kicks out. And then as soon as Baszler sits up, they have Baszler sit like this. They have Baszler sit like this. And Charlotte hits the natural selection for the win in the women's tag team titles. And the winners and your new women's tag team champions, Asuka, the Raw Women's Champion, and Charlotte Flair. Who gives a fuck? They had Shayna just sit there. They had Shayna Baszler just sit there, and Charlotte hits a natural selection. Oh, but the natural selection, it's a devastating move, man. It's not even a decent, believable move. It's a simple fucking move. An anticlimactic move.
It's not a finisher, number one. It's not a legit finisher.
And number two. And number two, it doesn't even look good when the move is performed. It looks like a move you can easily kick out of. But Charlotte and Asuka are the new women's tag team champions. Who gives a fuck? Seriously, who cares at this point? Oh, but how is she buried, man? She didn't tap out to the figure 8, man. The natural selection is just as bad.
Who cares? Shayna is buried. On Monday Night Raw. Again.
Yep. And her paired with Nia Jax does her no favors whatsoever.
I know we're on our way. And look at us, man. We know it's coming. We're now on our way to Asuka versus Charlotte Flair.
It's coming. Oh, but you don't know that. They're not going to do that, man. Just watch. Just watch. Yeah. You ready for it? Yeah, I know. At WrestleMania 37 for the Raw Women's title, Asuka Charlotte, with Charlotte winning that title and what? Becoming a 13-time champ, trying to break her father's record? Because you know they want Charlotte to break her own father's record, which doesn't mean anything. And just because with Charlotte breaking Ric Flair's record, that doesn't make Charlotte better than Ric. I'm just saying that right now. It's not how many times you win the title, it's what you do with it is what counts most so. And Charlotte, a 12, 13-time champ. Well, Charlotte, a 12 or 13-time champ. Hold on, guys. Sorry about that technical difficulty, guys. My grandmother. Fuck. Anyways, you were saying.
Charlotte, 12 or 13-time champ, makes her a 13-time loser.
Yeah. Charlotte, a 12 or 13-time champ, that makes her a 12 or 13-time loser. It's not how many times you win the title, it's what you do with it. Winning a title 12 or 13 times means nothing. It doesn't mean anything. And when Charlotte breaks her father's record, name me one title reign of Charlotte's that is memorable. Name me one. I'm going to give it 5 seconds. I'll wait.
Well, yeah, well, I gave you the answer.
Yep, 0. 0. 0. Not one Charlotte reign will be memorable. None.
0. The same amount of numbers of Charlotte putting over women.
0. You really think Charlotte's going to put over Asuka at WrestleMania? Oh. My God. You think Charlotte's going to put over Asuka at Mania next year? You are a goddamn fool.
Moving on, bro. Moving on.
Yeah, we gotta move on too. Something that is a lot better than Charlotte Flair. Something that doesn't give us a headache. Something that is much more worth watching, and something that Charlotte wishes was, and something that blows Charlotte out of the water. Universal Championship TLC matchup. The Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns, with Paul Heyman and Jimmy Uso versus Kevin Owens. So, what?
Well, you mean Jey Uso?
Yeah, I said Jay, didn't I? I think I did.
You said Jey.
I thought I said Jay, but Jey Uso. Jimmy Uso's still hurt. He should be. I'm hearing he's rumored to get cleared to wrestle again next month in January. So, but Reigns, he hooks the belt. So Reigns with Heyman so Roman Reigns is with Paul Heyman. He makes his entrance to Roman Reigns. He then Reigns, he hooks the belt so it can be raised above the ring, and as he did this, Owens then attacks Reigns from behind. Owens attacks Reigns right out of the gate. Owens, he's all over Reigns. He sends Reigns into the corner. Owens crushes Reigns in the corner of the barricade with the cannonball. So Owens is all over Reigns right out of the gate at the beginning of this thing. So they start this match off right out of the gate, which it should because it's a personal feud. Why would you have this match start in a tie-up? So this was the right call to make with Owens coming out right out of the gate. So Reigns then rolls out of the ring. Then Owens hits another cannonball as Reigns is laying against the barricade. Owens then sends Reigns into the ring steps. Owens flattens Reigns with a splash off the apron. Then Jey Uso hits the ring and to help Roman Reigns, but Owens hits him with the steel chair. Uso then tries a super kick, but Owens hits Uso with the leg, or he hits Uso in the leg with the steel chair. Owens then wraps the chair around Uso's ankle and stomps it, and which looked nasty. Then Owens hits Uso in the leg with the chair over and over again. Then Reigns surprises Owens with the drive-by dropkick. Then officials help Uso to the back. Then Reigns hits Owens in the head with the ring steps. Reigns then blessed Owens with the ring steps over and over again. And then Heyman looks terrified by what transpired outside the ring. Reigns then hit Owens with the ladder multiple times. Reigns back body drops Owens onto chairs. Owens responds with a fisherman suplex on a chair to Reigns. Owens almost makes it to the top of the ladder, but Uso hops back down to ringside and attacks Owens again. And then as Owens is beating down Uso, Reigns then hits a Superman punch. Then Uso brings the ladder into the ring for Reigns. Uso sends a table in the ring as well. And so then after all of this, Owens then manages to super kick Uso. Then Owens drops Reigns with the stunner. And then, Owens drops Reigns with a stunner. Owens sets up the ladder, and Owens rolls out of the ring and pop-up powerbombs Uso through the announce table. And then after this, Owens buries Uso underneath a bunch of stuff with the announce table stuff outside the ring. So then Owens goes up to the ladder. Reigns cuts him off just as Owens gets his fingers on the title. Yeah, Owens had his fingers on this title. So close, man. So close. And then Reigns and Owens trade strikes with each other. Reigns powerbombs Owens on the ladder, which looked fucking brutal, man. Holy shit. And then Reigns puts Owens through a table. Then Reigns puts Owens through a table outside the ring. Reigns Simone drops Owens through another table. Reigns smiles as he slowly climbs the ladder. Oh, but why are you not shitting on this, but you're shitting on the Miz, man? Here's a difference, clown. The Miz took no damage. Reigns was taking damage. Very big difference, clown. So then, yeah. So Reigns smiles. Reigns as he climbs. So Reigns has a smile on his face as he's slowly climbing this ladder. And then Owens manages to get back inside the ring, and he grabs Reigns by the foot. Reigns then looks down and laughs, saying, "What do I gotta do to beat this guy? What do I gotta do to put Kevin Owens away?" So Owens will not stay down. Reigns then tells Owens that he's embarrassing. Reigns is like, "Owens, what are you doing, man? Owens, you're embarrassing the family. You're embarrassing my family, man." Then Owens slaps the taste out of Reigns. And then Reigns responds with a spear to Owens right through the table set up in the corner in the ring. Love it. Love it.
Love it.
Then Owens falls out of the ring. Owens yells at Reigns to come on. Reigns charges in for a spear to the outside where the barricade is. But Owens moves out of the way, and man, oh man, did Roman crash and burn.
Yeah, he crashed and burned through the barricade.
So this happens, and the virtual fans, though it should be real fans, they're going nuts. Owens, he sees an opportunity, gets back in the ring, he's climbing the ladder. Owens is close again to winning the Universal Championship for a second time. And then Owens gets his fingers, and then just as Owens' fingers touch the title once again, Reigns is back in the ring. Reigns yanks Owens off the ladder. Reigns sends Owens into the ladder. Reigns then avoids a pop-up powerbomb from Owens and lands a Superman punch. Reigns hits the ropes and gets pop-up powerbomb through the table, set up in the ring, not in the corner, by Owens. Reigns goes through the table. Owens climbs the ladder again. Owens almost has the title once again for a third time. At least a third time in this match. Uso's back up and he tries to knock Owens off the ladder. Owens then drops down and hits a stunner on Uso. Owens climbs again for a fourth time and is close for a fourth time. And then Reigns punches Owens and then Reigns, he climbs the ladder as well. And he hits the low blow. He hits some kind of low blow onto Owens. And then he punches Owens in the nuts or some kind of low blow or whatever on Owens. And then Reigns locks in the guillotine on the top of the ladder. Owens is then passing out and he falls to the mat. Owens is down and out. And then Roman Reigns pulls down the title for the win. And the winner, and still the Universal Champion, and still the head of the table, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns.
An awesome match.
Awesome match for sure, man. Great fucking stuff, man. Excellent. Loved it. Absolutely loved it, man. We all knew Roman wasn't going to lose, but Owens definitely made you fucking believe that he was going to win this match. They did a damn good job with all this. Even the build going into this match, and this match they did a damn good job with, man. What are your complete thoughts on all of this? Do you think we get a one and done? Do you think we also get this match at the Rumble? Your thoughts on all of this, bro?
Well, we're going to get it again on Smackdown, but this time in a steel cage match.
Yep. They announced it actually yesterday, I believe it was. And this Friday on Smackdown on Fox on Christmas night, they're trying to load that show up as they can. They got an IC title match with Biggie and Sami Zayn, and now a steel cage Universal title match between Roman Reigns and Kevin Owens. Now, yeah, we didn't get an explanation of this. They could have did it last night on Raw, but a TLC, I know there's no DQs and Jey Uso interfered and all. And I know a cage match, there's no outside interference, though there have been some times where guys have got in, where the outside people or people on the outside have gotten in the cage somehow. But what are your thoughts on this match, and what do you think both guys go from here? And what do you think about the cage match this Friday? And could we see Owens and Reigns at the Rumble, hopefully leading to Reigns and Bryan at WrestleMania?
You know, I won't mind seeing this. I won't mind seeing this again at the Royal Rumble after their steel cage match on Smackdown next Friday night.
And this was a good match here. And do you mind the match at all this Friday?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't mind seeing it again at the Royal Rumble if they do that.
Yeah, I mean, they had a good match. They had a good match 2 nights ago, and Owens looked like a star in defeat. Even in defeat, he looked like a star. And after 2 nights ago, this cannot be a one and done. Even after this Friday, it cannot be a one and done. And they had a good match 2 nights ago. I expect these two guys to have a good match as well this Friday. And I'm making a bold prediction this Friday. I know Jimmy Uso's supposed to be cleared next month, but what if he comes back this Friday and cost Owens the championship inside that cage?
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, I know Jimmy Uso's supposed to get cleared next month, but he could still show up this Friday. Maybe it's possible. I'm just making that bold prediction there, but let me know what you guys think on that. But Owens and Reigns, real great stuff 2 nights ago. And, yeah. Owens looked like a fucking star, man. He wasn't going to win, but he damn well made you believe at least 4 times in this match that he was going to win that title. And it looked believable.
Yeah.
It was believable. And I honestly can say this, and to be brutally honest with you guys, I felt like this TLC match was a lot better than the TLC match from earlier. To be brutally honest with you guys, and to be totally honest with you, I thought this match with Owens and Reigns was a lot better than the AJ Styles, Drew McIntyre, and Miz stuff that happened earlier in the show, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's true, bro. That's true.
So that's just my opinion on that, but a good match here with Reigns and Owens. Why was this not the main event, though? This should have been the main event.
Yeah, this should have been the main event, but now we're going to review the match. That is the main event.
Yeah. So good match with Reigns and Owens here. And then the main event, Firefly Inferno match. Randy Orton versus The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Now, as you've seen the title of this video, it says The Fiend is officially dead. Hell in a Cell 2019. The Hell in a Cell DQ finish with Seth Rollins. That was strike number 1. Strike number 2 was Goldberg this past February in Saudi Arabia at Super Showdown. Strike 2. Strike number 3 was 2 nights ago at TLC with Randy Orton in the Firefly Inferno match. Now, the beginning of this thing, like the Inferno shit, it's like the beginning wasn't, the early part of this match wasn't even a fucking Inferno match. I'm like, no fire, flames lit up. I'm like, what? Like, what is going on here?
Yeah. Where is Kate to burn the movie?
And this match wasn't even that good, in my opinion.
Well, we expected it to be that goodwill.
Orton and Wyatt have terrible in-ring chemistry when they wrestle each other. They're both good at what they do in the ring, but wrestling each other, not the best in-ring chemistry at all.
No, not the best.
So Orton comes to the ring wearing pants and a hoodie, which is strange for Mr. Orton. And the Fiend makes his entrance after Orton makes his entrance. They both lock eyes. Orton paces around the ring as the Fiend looks on. Orton then punches the Fiend. The Fiend no-sells it, and he laughs. Orton then kicks the Fiend. The Fiend laughs again. No sells it again, and then no matter no matter what Orton does, the Fiend doesn't budge at all. Then Orton tries an RKO, but the Fiend pushes Orton away, and then the Fiend stomps Orton in the corner. Low crossbody by the Fiend. The Fiend attempts Sister Abigail, but Orton reverses it into a backbreaker. Orton then tries to RKO again, but the Fiend counters it again and finally hits Sister Abigail. The Fiend then raises his arms at the Thunderdome. The Fiend then raises his arms, and the Thunderdome is then set ablaze with the fire flames going high. So there's fire all over the arena. And then the Fiend punishes Orton outside the ring. And then the Fiend tries to light Orton's face on fire. Some scary shit. Now, remember Armageddon 2006? Kane versus MVP in an Inferno match where Kane set MVP on fire.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that towards the finish of Bray Wyatt and Orton in this Inferno match, but so then Orton is able to fight away from this, from the flames. He's able to fight away. He's able to fight his way away from the flames, from the high flames, and avoiding getting burned. So then the Fiend picks up a strap, and that was conveniently laying near the apron. The Fiend lashes Orton over and over again with the strap. And then the Fiend lights the strap on fire, right? And then he tries to hit Orton. Then he tries to hit Orton with it. Orton luckily avoids it. And then the Fiend pulls a pickaxe from under the ring. The Fiend swings it and narrowly misses Orton's head. Luckily, Orton missed this.
We nearly see the murder happen on national television.
Well, speaking of even bigger murder on national television, we're going to talk about that very shortly. The Fiend then grabs a rocking chair and a can of gasoline that he has Orton set up on this rocking chair on the outside of the ring. He has Orton set up on this rocking chair outside the ring, right? And then the Fiend has this, I don't know if it's gasoline, it's some liquidy oil that it's dangerous where if you pour it on something and then you have a lighter match, it's a big fire, with flaming tables that they do it with flaming tables. It's the same thing that Lita used at WrestleMania 22 with the hardcore match with Edge and Mick Foley at Mania 32. That liquid oil.
Yeah, the same thing that Kane and Randy Orton used on the casket before they sent out while the Undertaker was inside it.
No, yeah, Cowboy Bob Orton, Orton's father, and Orton himself at No Mercy 05 against the Undertaker in the handicap casket match at No Mercy 05.
Kane of the Undertaker at the Royal Rumble back in 1998.
Yeah, that one. So the Fiend, it's a liquid gas. Yeah. Fiend has this rocking chair. Fiend grabs a rocking chair and has this can of gasoline. It's the liquid gasoline. The Fiend pours it on the chair, and he tries to pour some on Orton. Or no, not some on Orton. Or he doesn't pour it on Orton. He pours it on the chair, and he makes a trail leading to the chair. The Fiend sits Orton in the gas covered chair. The Fiend lights the trail of gas. The Fiend lights the trail of gas. Orton then somehow manages to wake up in time and to roll out of the way and getting burned big time here. Luckily, thank God Orton got out of the way just in the nick of time.
And just in the nick of time where almost as a time thought he was going to start on fire.
Legitimately. Luckily, Orton was able to wake up and just get out of the way. So then the chair and the protective mat are then engulfed in flames. Then Orton hits the Fiend in the stomach with the handle of the pickaxe. Of the pickaxe. Then Orton levels the Fiend with the ring steps. Orton then wraps a chain around his hand. Then Orton blasts the Fiend in the face with the chain, and with the chain wrapped over with his chain wrapped fist over and over again. Then Orton wraps the chain around the Fiend's neck. Orton then tries to force the Fiend's face into one of the open flames. And then the Fiend manages to avoid the fire. And then the Fiend lands a Uranagi. The Fiend then grabs Orton's head and twists his neck. And then the Fiend sets the pickaxe handle on fire. Orton ducks it and hits a Hangman CDT off the apron. Orton then calls for an RKO, but the Fiend reverses it into the mandible claw, and then the Fiend tries to force Orton into the fire. Orton then reverses and punches, and then pushes the Fiend into the flames. The Fiend catches on fire. Then Orton runs back in the ring. The Fiend realizes he is on fire. The Fiend runs into the ring while he is still engulfed in the flames. The Fiend pretty much no-sells this. And Orton drops the Fiend with an RKO while he was still on fire. And so then the Fiend isn't moving. Now, then Orton wins this Inferno match. Now, before we talk shortly about after this Inferno match, the Fiend no-sold this Inferno stuff when he was on fire, right? Look at Armageddon 06 with the Inferno match with Kane and MVP. When Kane set MVP on fire, MVP didn't know. He did not no-sell it. He actually saw it like he was screaming for help and running and trying to run for his life, just screaming and big time for help. He was like, that's what MVP was like when he was set on fire by Kane at Armageddon 06 in their Inferno match. Yeah. Kane set MVP on fire at Armageddon 06 in their Inferno match, right? Kane sets MVP on fire. MVP is literally running for his life. And then the fire extinguishers come out, they put the fire out, and MVP collapses and he's out cold. And the Fiend then the Fiend here, he no-sells this. Why? He
was trying to attack Randy Orton.
A normal human being would not no-sell this.
Yeah, a normal human being would be screaming for help.
If you're a normal human being set on fire would legitimately scream for their fucking life.
Yeah.
Yet the Fiend no-sells this. Am I losing my mind here? Or am I just making sense?
Where's the logic here?
Yeah, some logic gap you got there, Bruce.
Some logic there, Bruce. Vince, John, you clowns.
So Orton wins this Inferno match, and then after the match, Fiend is set on fire. He gets back in the ring, realizing he's on fire. Orton drops the Fiend with an RKO in the ring. The Fiend is out. The Fiend is not moving. So Orton wins this Inferno match, and then after this match, Orton flips the Fiend over with his foot. The Fiend still isn't moving. Orton looks realizing what he has done. So then Orton, with a sick smile on his face, he rolls out of the ring. Orton grabs the Fiend's gas can with the liquid gasoline. Orton pours the liquid gas all over the Fiend. He pours it all over the Fiend, the liquid gas. Orton pours the liquid gas all over the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. He pours it all over the Fiend. Orton then pulls out a box of matches. Orton drops a match. Orton has a box of matches. He takes a match from the box, lights it on fire and then this match, this little stick thing on with the fire thing. He then drops a match onto the Fiend and lights the Fiend on fire. And then the flames around the Thunderdome explode as the Fiend burns in the middle of the ring. Orton then rolls out of the ring and poses with a sick smile on his face, and the Fiend gets set on fire. And as I said in the title of this video, the Fiend is officially dead. The Fiend is dead. Dead.
And this is how TLC will see it. The Fiend is officially buried.
Not actually dead, but he is dead.
Yeah, well,
it was not the actual Bray Wyatt. If it was the actual Bray Wyatt, Orton would have committed a big fucking crime scene on national television.
Yeah, a big crime murder to the point that we have to send the police for crime scenes.
Yeah, and Orton may have just committed actual murder on live television, but not the actual Bray Wyatt. And I heard this match was pre-taped. So they might as well have this match be the main event. If this was live, this would have been ridiculous.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Orton may have just committed murder on national television, and the Fiend is dead. The Fiend character can now finally rest in peace. You might as well just bring back the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt at this point, because the Fiend character is absolutely fucking dead right now. It is completely dead. Your thoughts on all this?
Well, it was actually much better than the WrestleMania match, but I still did not enjoy it. The Fiend is officially buried once and for all. Where is The Undertaker and Kane to call them to host the funeral for the Fiend?
And with Paul Bearer, with the ghost of Paul Bearer, God rest his soul.
Yeah. Well, in an imaginary world, in another world, where is Paul Bearer, The Undertaker, Mark Calloway, Mayor Kane, Glenn Jacobs, and William Moody, a.k.a. Paul Bearer? Where are they to host the funeral for the Fiend in the imaginary world somewhere?
Yeah, just get the nice dress suits, the nice black tie and black suit and black dress socks and black dress jacket and black dress shoes and the flowers and the tissues, and get the casket ready, because the Fiend is dead.
Get the urn, and get the Undertaker coat and jacket and
the shovel.
And get Kane's mask. Yeah, get Kane's mask and get the shovel.
The Fiend is dead.
And put the Fiend in the casket, put it in the grave, and then grab the shovel and shove the dirt on the casket.
Yeah. Oh, but this makes Orton a bigger heel, man. The Fiend will come back as a bigger babyface, man. Storyline continuation, man. Says the clown.
Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a flying fuck?
At least when Kane set the Undertaker on fire while the Undertaker was inside the casket at the 1998 Royal Rumble, Kane was bigger for it. And the Undertaker returning had a bigger impact.
This was 1998, I believe it was, right?
Yeah, that was 1998. There's a reason why their feud was awesome in 1998. Was what they did with Kane wanting to fight the Undertaker, and the Undertaker refused to fight his brother, and then Kane helps him and he casket him against Shawn Michaels, only to turn on him and help Shawn Michaels win, and then set him on fire. Well, set the casket on fire while the Undertaker was inside it at the 1998 Royal Rumble.
Yeah, and then
what happened with Kane. He became a bigger star. Was that alone?
Yeah.
And the Undertaker returning, picture perfect.
Yeah. You had Kane and Undertaker at WrestleMania 14. You had Kane and Undertaker at Unforgiven 98 in the Inferno match with Kane set on fire. You had the Brothers of Destruction team in summer of late in the other times in 1998. You had Undertaker and Paul Bearer's heels with the Ministry, and Kane as a babyface for a few months before joining the Corporation. Turning heel in late 98 was Kane, etc., etc. You know, both guys are better off for it in 1998.
Yeah. Kane, the Undertaker was already a star, but he made a star out of Kane.
His own brother.
Yeah, or his Kane's brother. It's not his real life brother, it's Kane's fake brother. Oh, no.
Yeah. But, yeah.
That made Kane a star.
But the Fiend, just get the funeral date wake set up, because the Fiend is officially dead, folks. He is dead. If you don't see that, open your eyes.
Yeah. No matter what they do, no matter if the Fiend comes back, they might as well retire the fucking character.
And just bring back the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt, because the Fiend character is officially dead. The Fiend character was an idea of Bray Wyatt's, and when WWE realized how over it was getting, WWE couldn't stand it, and they wanted to get their fingerprints all over it.
Yeah. Now look what they did.
Hell in a Cell, the DQ finish with Hell in a Cell of 2019 last year with Seth Rollins. Like I said earlier, like I just said moments ago, strike number 1.
Strike number 2 was good old Selfish Bird.
Goldberg. Oldberg. Goldberg bearing and killing the Fiend this past February in Saudi Arabia at Super Showdown 2020. That was strike number 2 when the Fiend was supposed to go over, and Goldberg didn't want to put him over and didn't want his image tarnished, quote unquote. Goldberg didn't want to lose to the Fiend and didn't want his image tarnished for all the little kiddies out there that thought that he was a big superhero.
Strike number 3 and the final nail in the coffin was TLC and Randy Orton.
In an Inferno match. The Fiend being burned literally, and the Fiend can now finally rest in peace. Just get rid of the... You might as well just get rid of the Fiend character at this point and just bring back the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt at this point. Because the Fiend is dead. It is dead.
Even if they bring back the Eater of Worlds or Bray Wyatt, reinvent himself with a new character, WWE are still going to kill it.
Because they can't stand it when it's because they can't stand it when an idea is not theirs.
Yeah, you know what's funny Bray Wyatt? Look, I love Bray Wyatt. He's a great wrestler, man. 2020 been a disaster for him. I mean, we can say here 2020 has been a disaster for everybody in this world, and even for wrestling. But man, has 2020 been a disaster for Bray Wyatt?
Yeah.
A fucking disaster.
Legitimately, Goldberg burying the Fiend because Goldberg didn't want his image tarnished, like I just mentioned, like very shortly ago. You had Bray Wyatt feuding with Braun Strowman for 4 months that no one gave a shit about. Oh, but they had Wyatt family history, man.
Wyatt family history?
Who cared?
Who even remembers Braun Strowman being a part of the Wyatt family?
He was useless in the Wyatt family. He was just there. He was just there because he's a big guy. He's 7 foot tall. He's 400, 500 pounds. He runs fast. Whee! Whee! Because that's all Braun Strowman does is run fast. So they do Braun Strowman and Bray Wyatt feud for 4 months over the Universal title. Bray wins the belt back at SummerSlam, only to lose it a week later to Roman Reigns. Then Bray Wyatt gets moved to Monday Night Raw in the draft.
Yeah, then he gets drafted to Monday Night Raw.
Yep. And then the Inferno match at TLC this year 2 nights ago with Randy Orton at Tables, Ladders, and Chairs pay-per-view. Now the Fiend is officially dead. You don't see that. Please open your eyes.
Open your eyes.
Open your eyes, open your ears, get your ears clean, get your eyes checked, make sure your eyes are good, get your eyes clear or washed or cleaned. Open your eyes and ears. The Fiend is dead. Dead. If you don't see that, then I don't know what to tell you. The Fiend is dead. At this point, if he comes back as a babyface, oh, but he's going to be a bigger babyface, man. Who's going to care?
Who is going to care?
Oh, but Orton's a bigger heel right now, man. Oh, but Orton's Orton's a bigger heel now, man, and he needs to be when Edge comes back, man. Speaking of Edge, Orton and Fiend, this is nothing but a filler feud just until Edge comes back. Because Edge and Orton, you know they're resuming their feud.
Yeah. And we're going to get Edge to Royal Rumble eliminating Randy, and then we're going to get Edge resumed at WrestleMania.
Legitimately.
Yeah.
Now, again, like you just said a moment ago, this match was better than their Mania 33 match, but still, the Fiend is officially fucking dead. The Fiend lost is within less than a year. Oh, but But the Undertaker, it happened with. But it's okay for a hot character to lose less than a month, man. The Undertaker didn't lose less than a year back in the day. Nope. Not at all. But it's okay for the Fiend to lose less than a month, man. What the fuck are you talking about? The Fiend and Seth Rollins late 2019 last year. They booked themselves into a fucking corner. And Bray, the Universal title, he should have never lost it to fucking Bill Goldberg. Should have never lost it. At least Kane would have put him over. At least Kane's not selfish like Goldberg.
Yeah, I think Kane would have been willing to lose because he was anyway. Kane in the tournament.
Exactly. Then Kane and then Seth Rollins and Bray Wyatt and then Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins at Hell in a Cell last year. They booked themselves in the corner. They did the DQ finish in Hell in a Cell last year in 2019 at Hell in a Cell 2018 last year. That made them be forced to turn Seth into a heel. They fucked Seth over with that big time. And then they had no choice but to turn Seth Rollins heel and turn Bray Wyatt babyface because the WWE sheer stupidity.
Yeah, because of what they did with the match.
Yeah. But neither guy can lose, man. You gotta do something protected to protect both guys, man. Then don't book the fucking match. Don't book the match. You're just wasting our time and your time.
Don't book the match. If this was gonna happen, do not book the match. Book Seth Rollins against someone else.
Or against Braun Strowman again, for all I care.
Yeah, do Rollins and Strowman against what we fucking knew back then. Or Seth Rollins or not book Seth Rollins at the pay-per-view.
Yeah, legitimately. Even the WWE Championship with Bray Wyatt back in early 2017, he should have never lost that either. They had and then guess what happened in SmackDown in 2017 with the WWE title? Jinder Mahal. And then that killed SmackDown. Something that SmackDown is still not recovered from. Jinder is WWE champ for 6 months. It ruined SmackDown. SmackDown goes downhill. Something that SmackDown's still not recovered from to this day.
Yeah.
To a point where it's going to take a while, possible years, for SmackDown to even get up out of the ground from that. That's how bad Jinder fucking killed them 3 years ago. That's how bad Jinder killed SmackDown in 2017. That's how bad it was.
And Bray Wyatt, you might as well just take Bray Wyatt off of television. Period.
Yeah.
Just let me know what is Bray Wyatt's contract coming up, by the way? What is it?
Yeah. Yeah. But the money is always everything, man. Money is not always everything.
It's not always everything.
But you're an idiot if you turn that big money down, man. Look at Cody Rhodes. Look at Cody Rhodes now. Look at Cody Rhodes with him in the Indies. They made a great living for him in the Indies. Yeah. The Fiend might as well just ask for his release at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. The Fiend might as well just retire and bring back the Eat of Worlds version of Bray Wyatt, or Bray trying to come up with a different character, or just release him.
Yeah. Because they clearly do not deserve it. They do not.
Yeah. That's your TLC review. Decent show here. You think? Decent show? I thought it was a decent show.
Well, I said it was a decent show.
Definitely a decent show. You had 6 matches on the card, 3 good ones, 3 bad ones, but all in all, a decent show. A poor build, yes, but at the end, it was a decent show. And I expect this to be a bad show last Sunday, but I do have to be honest with you guys. I'm not afraid to admit when I am wrong, I am wrong. And I'm not afraid to admit that when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And 2 nights ago, we got a decent show in TLC. That's your TLC review. And before we end the TLC review here on the channel right now, we got some super chats or live chats. Cameron Johnson, the year-end review for this Monday before Raw is you, Adam, and who else? Me, Adam, and DJ Storms. We're going to be here on this channel for this Monday talking about WWE this year from January to right now. It's going to be this Monday right here on the Fury Nation YouTube channel. So, Cameron, brother, it's going to be here on the channel, right here in this channel this Monday. Me, Adam, and DJ Storms. So, Cameron, Cameron, brother, if you're watching this and listening to this right now, make sure you have that date marked on the calendar for this Monday for here in the channel, the year-end review with me, DJ Storms, Adam for me, Adam, and DJ Storms for this Monday before Raw right here on the channel. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be a great show. Much better than Raw. Also from Cameron Johnson, how about Cena versus Roman? Cena versus Roman at WrestleMania. Again, I would do Roman and Bryan at Mania, and I would actually do with McIntyre at Mania next year for the WWE title. I would do Drew McIntyre versus John Cena, and Cena trying to go for a 17th world title reign.
Yeah, and he puts over Drew McIntyre.
And do you know how big of a star Drew would look if that were to happen?
Yeah, his rise will, his stock would rise even bigger.
I mean, look at Hell in a Cell this year when they took the title off Orton off of McIntyre to give it to Orton, only to give it right back to McIntyre a month later. Hell in a Cell this year, when McIntyre dropped the title, he should have never dropped it to Orton at Hell in a Cell. That kind of halted his momentum a bit. And a win over Cena for the title at Mania next year would bring up that momentum again, like he had before he lost to Hell in a Cell this year.
Yeah.
So, Mania next year, Universal title, Reigns and Bryan, and WWE title, McIntyre and Cena. That is what I would do, personally. Also from Cameron Johnson, I missed Lucha Underground John Morrison. Couldn't agree more, man. Could not agree more. Go ahead.
We couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Morrison with The Miz now is just terrible at this point. Speaking of Cameron Johnson, speaking of The Miz is a loser. Damn right. Miz is a loser, an idiot, and a geek. Like I said earlier in this video, he cashes in the briefcase 2 nights ago, right? And he's a fresh guy, and he cashes in the briefcase 2 nights ago at TLC. And he's climbing the ladder, and he's climbing slow as if he's a 90-year-old fucking man. Like, fucking geek is The Miz. A loser, an idiot, and a geek is the fucking Miz. And yet there's going to be idiots on here. Oh, you're happy The Miz failed his cash-in, man. The Miz is a loser. Oh, but The Miz would have been... Well, but Miz is WWE champ on Raw would have been good for the ratings on Raw, man. Did you not see last week's Raw rating with a 1.52? Yeah, Miz as WWE champ on Raw would increase the ratings, right? Sure. Word 789. I can't believe Orton killed the Fiend.
Well, it was not the actual Fiend. It was a doll. They just Kevin Dunn. He did not show the Fiend in the ring. He showed Radio outside the ring, and they didn't show the Bray Wyatt getting out of the ring, and they replaced him with a doll who looks like Bray Wyatt.
It was either like a prop dummy or a doll of the actual Fiend to make it look like him, but it wasn't the actual Bray Wyatt.
Yeah.
If it was the actual Fiend, that would have been way too fucking dangerous.
Yeah, if it was the actual, He would have been committed a crime murder.
Exactly. Exactly, dude. And then lastly, from word 789, is Bray Wyatt cured now?
What?
Yeah, he asks, or she asks, is Bray Wyatt cured now?
Is Bray Wyatt cured?
Yeah, they ask. Yeah, words 789 asks, is Bray Wyatt cured now?
Well,
Huh?
He wasn't even. His actual son wasn't even on fire.
Come on, you got to use your brain a bit. It's not the actual Fiend Bray Wyatt guy. It's not.
It's not the actual Bray Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt is not. He's dead. He's not actually dead, but he's dead. The actually passed away. No.
No, he wasn't killed by regular.
I can't like Fiend character wise, he's killed and dead, but an actual real life Bray Wyatt, no, absolutely not. If it again, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we lost enough people with COVID, and we've lost some wrestling. And we lost a lot, at least some names in the wrestling world this year, like Road Warrior Animal and Pat Patterson and Carmella, etc., etc.
Howard Finkel.
Yep, Howard Finkel.
Bullet Bob Armstrong.
Yeah, etc. Yeah, etc., etc. And Pat Patterson, etc., etc. We don't need to lose another life. We don't need to lose another wrestler in the pro wrestling world with a wrestler passing away. We don't need that.
No, we don't want that. Nobody wants that.
We don't need another wrestler dying in this world. We don't need that.
Yeah.
We don't need another one this year. There's enough already. Along with COVID. And I heard Carmella passed away this year with COVID-19 related stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need to lose another pro wrestler in this world with Bray Wyatt. We don't need Bray Wyatt actually dying.
Yeah.
So, word 789 asks, is Bray Wyatt cured now? That Bray Wyatt is killed, but he's not actually killed. Yeah. Fiend character wise, he's killed. Fiend character wise, he's dead. Not actual real life. And there's no more super live chats or super chats or live chats after that. I don't see any more after that. So I guess this wraps up the TLC 2020 review. And I believe that's it for the TLC 2020 review. So I want to thank you guys so much for joining Adam and myself right here in the channel for the TLC review. Last Sunday night, about 2 nights ago. A little tired. Not that tired, but I'm all right now. Just stretching a bit. Just thought I could do that. Just had to do that. But anyways, nonetheless, thank you guys once again so much for joining myself and Adam and I for the TLC review from TLC 2 nights ago right here, right now on the channel. This is a TLC 2020 review. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and had a good time right here for this video. I hope you enjoyed our long rant on Charlotte Flair. We ranted on that for like what? At least 20 minutes straight.
Yeah.
So hope you guys enjoyed that. And I will see you next time right here in the channel. I'm thinking possibly today. I don't know when, but I'm gonna have myself a little break for a little bit. And I believe possibly right here in this channel today, possibly gonna get a Raw review from last night, which was god awful, worse than last week's Raw. So look out for a possible Raw review today. Also, another thing, and I believe I said it earlier in this video, which I did actually. I said it earlier in this video. And then most likely probably tomorrow, I believe so. look out for here on the channel. I'll be by myself. Video gaming right here in this channel. Tomorrow, PlayStation 2, Season Mode with Kurt Angle, with WWE SmackDown vs. Raw 2007 on the PlayStation 2. So look out for that, most likely tomorrow. So look out for that. And that is that for all that. And also, I'd like you to, and now, I know it's most likely not going to happen this year, but I know it's not the new year yet, but I want to make an early New Year's resolution. I want to at least 30 subscribers by around next year. I want to hit at least 30 subscribers on the right here in this channel within the new year. So, guys, I would really appreciate it if you hit that like button on this video and hit the subscribe button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell for all notifications as well. So then that way all of you guys are notified whenever I upload videos right here on the channel right here in the channel right onto YouTube. So hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for all notifications, and make sure you hit the like button for this very video. Make sure you hit that like button for this very video right here. Follow me on Twitter at FioriNick579 and follow me on Instagram at NicholasFiori2014. And follow me on Facebook at Nicholas.Fiori.31. And follow Adam on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook as well. Links right in the description when this video is done processing and all. And that is that as far as the social media platforms goes, guys. I'm Nick Fiori. This is Adam. We're going to get out of here. This is your TLC 2020 review. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and had a good time here with this video. And thank you guys so much once again for joining Adam and I right here in the channel for the TLC 2020 review. And I will see you later on, possibly. I'm going to take a break right now. And you should see me right here with Adam right here in the channel later on today, possibly, with the Raw review from Raw last night. Monday Night Snore from last night. Raw Rinse and Repeat Wrestling from a night ago. I'll talk to you guys later. And hope you guys have a good Christmas week this week, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.